Hello and welcome to Trail to Manhood. Today, we're diving into a topic that has been shaping our perception of relationships for decades: how Hollywood has taught men to be simps and weak, often to their own detriment. We will explore the problematic messages in movies and pop culture. For many years, Hollywood and pop culture have reinforced the idea that men should always go to the extreme lengths for the women, even when their feelings aren't reciprocated and respect isn't given in return. From grand romantic gestures to relentless pursuits, these narratives have created a blueprint for men that prioritize self sacrifice over self respect. The message is clear: if you do enough, give enough, and sacrifice enough, she'll eventually fall for you. But at what cost? What happens when this devotion isn't returned? And what happens when a man's boundaries and standards are seen as toxic or controlling? Hollywood has contributed to creating generations of men who believe that relentless pursuit and over accommodation are the keys to a woman's heart. These portrayals often depict men who continue to give and give even when their own needs and boundaries are ignored. This behavior is frequently glorified as romantic and heroic, rather than what it often is: a sign of weakness and a lack of self respect. Take 500 Days of Summer as an example. This movie follows Tom Hansen, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as he falls head over heels for Summer Finn, played by Zooey Deschanel. Tom's unwavering pursuit of Summer, despite her consistent signals that she's not interested in a serious relationship, is portrayed as romantic. But in reality, this kind of behavior can be repulsive for many women and is more likely to lead to rejection than romance. On the surface, it's a charming and relatable story, but if you dig a bit deeper, you will find that this movie is problematic when it comes to portraying strong male characters. Tom starts the movie with an idealized version of what love and relationships should be. He projects his fantasies into Summer, expecting her to fulfill his every romantic desire. This sets up a dangerous precedent that men should put in all the effort upfront, hoping that their idolized partner will reciprocate eventually. Throughout the movie, we see Tom going above and beyond to win Summer's affection. He plans elaborate dates, makes grand romantic gestures, and continuously tries to impress her. While these actions might seem sweet, they reinforce the notion that men should constantly strive to win a woman's approval, even if it's not reciprocated. The problem with this portrayal is the imbalance it creates in effort and emotional investment. Tom is always the one trying, planning, and hoping, while Summer remains aloof and non-committal. This dynamic suggests that it's acceptable for women to be indecisive and distant, while men are expected to keep pushing and proving themselves. In one scene, Summer explicitly tells Tom that she doesn't want anything serious, yet Tom continues to hope and believe that he can change her mind. Tom's unwavering pursuit of Summer, despite her consistent signals that she's not interested in a serious relationship, is portrayed as romantic. But in reality, this kind of behavior can be repulsive for many women and is more likely to lead to rejection than romance. This reinforces the unrealistic expectation that persistence will eventually lead to reciprocation, which isn't always the case, and can be emotionally draining and unhealthy, and you will lose every bit of your dignity and self-respect in the process. This is not heroism. This is not sacrifice. This is self-destruction. The consequences of these narratives are far-reaching. Men are taught that their value is measured by how much they're willing to give and how much they're willing to endure. This has led to a culture where men feel compelled to suppress their own needs and boundaries, fearing that expressing them will be seen as toxic or unmanly. When a man does assert his standards or boundaries, he's often labeled as controlling or toxic. This double standard not only undermines healthy relationship dynamics, but also perpetuates the idea that men's feelings and needs are less important. It's time to challenge these outdated and harmful portrayals. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, clear communication, and balanced effort from both partners. Men should feel empowered to set boundaries and expect reciprocation without fear of being labeled as toxic or controlling. Finally, if you made it this far, that means hopefully you liked the idea of this content. So please hit the like button and subscribe so we can do more videos and content like this. Thank you and see you next time.